What is up YouTube, it's Markshot here and welcome to a brand new video. Today's video is going to be about laying out exactly what World War II did wrong and how it could have been better. I would like to start off with that I actually do like the game and have really enjoyed playing it over the past year, but I acknowledge World War II isn't without its faults. When I think of World War II, I think of a story of missed opportunities. I believe it would have had a tremendous amount of success and support from the community. It's no secret that for many, World War II was a complete and utter letdown. There's many things that have contributed to this line of thinking, so let's dive in and discuss exactly what World War II did wrong and how it could have been better. The first mistake that was committed, and probably the most serious, was World War II releasing with only 9 maps. That is an insanely small amount of maps for a Call of Duty game. To make matters worse, what little maps were there were poorly designed with the exception of a couple. People like to have variety playing games, that's no secret, so the question persists, why would Sledgehammer Games think it's a good idea to release a game with only 9 maps? That really just set up World War II to fail from the very beginning. From what I hear, the number one reason why people have stopped playing this game was because they said they have gotten bored, and I think a large part of that is due to the lack of map variety. So let this be an example to future Call of Duties. That map count at launch is pretty important if the developers want to have continued hype around their game all year long. The next critical mistake that Sledgehammer Games committed when designing World War II was designing the credit class system to feature divisions instead of a traditional Pick 10 system. Once again, it goes back to variety, or lack thereof. Divisions make players conform to certain playstyles and severely limit the different options a player has when creating a class setup. I personally hated having to choose between stealth and mobility. I wanted both. I've grown accustomed to being able to choose exactly what I want and how I want to play in Call of Duty. So when I first played World War II, it was a shock to have to choose from basically what is preset options. This change was very unnecessary in my opinion and added little to the game. I will say though, Sledgehammer Games did correct the situation some by adjusting the divisions a bit a couple months ago with that massive update. But unfortunately, the divisions still restrict players. Another thing that World War II could have done better was kill streaks. They were lackluster. None of them felt satisfying to use. Most of the kill streaks or score streaks were overpriced and underdelivered. I don't know why Call of Duty developers insist on creating weak kill streaks. For example, the paratroopers, the highest streak in the game, might only net you a couple kills if you're lucky. Where's the devastating score streaks at, or kill streaks at? It's like they are afraid that they will ruin the game or something. We obviously know this is nonsense because games like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2 had great streaks that didn't impede the flow of the game. The secret to a good Call of Duty is not a secret at all. All the developers have to do is create games like they used to, and good streaks was key to that process. Moving on, some of the other things that I want to quickly mention, the time in between content drops were way too long. We need fresh content every couple of weeks. That's just how the gaming market is trending. With Fortnite releasing new content every week, it just made World War II seem stale. The lack of communication between Sledgehammer Games and the community was pretty bad. Sledgehammer Games really never seemed to be transparent about what they were doing and appeared to consistently be disregarding community feedback. Lastly, they didn't do enough to reward prestiging. You really didn't get much for reaching Prestige Master. They've kind of done so much with the Prestige Master pay bonus and stuff like that and really made it to where you can get exclusive variants or be able to purchase the variants that you exactly want when getting to Prestige Master. I mean, the possibilities for Prestige Master bonuses were endless, but they failed to do any of that, so once you got to max Prestige, there was a lot left to be desired. I don't know why they just didn't do anything once, to reward those players once they completed the multiplayer. So, like I said, it's just going back to you need to have something keeping the players constantly engaged, and World War II did not have that. So to finish up, World War II was a game that lacked variety, communication, good streaks, and a good prestige rewards, just to name a few. If World War II could have just done a little bit more to keep the players happy, it really could have turned out to be completely different. Instead, this is a game that's going to be labeled boring and dead, with the reputation of a failure. It really is a story of missed opportunities. So what do you guys think of some of the things that I discussed? Do you all agree? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.